We're back here again with SQL database using PHP. Lesson 5, we're going to use the SQL command between. Okay. Between's pretty easy. We want a date in between something. We want a number in between something. Anything that's from one spectrum to the next, we can get that chunk of query that we want. So in this case, we're talking about students. Students visiting the math center at the school, and we want to know the number of visits in between, let's just say 3 and 11, okay, because that's where the teacher needs to know. We need to know the in between these three people. We don't want to really know the low numbers. We really don't want to know the high numbers. So let's get going. First thing is make sure you had a database. The last video we covered out how to implement, insert into the database, and we also did a query that queried this stuff right here using the where clause, right, or the where command. All right. First thing what we're going to do is we're going to go to our file manager. We're going to click on videos. Okay, I'm going to bring up a new one. I'm going to call it between. Between.php. All right, once the between is up, we go code edit. All right, we got a fresh blank page. So in the previous video, and I'll have the source code up, let's grab this last source code so we can make things easier. And again, I'll go over it again, right? This right here is chunk of HTML, right? As soon as you see the PHP and the PHP, that's where the PHP is initiated. Okay, what are we doing? First off, we're connecting to a server. Server name is localhost because that's where our website is hosted. Okay, so you're probably going to be localhost. Username is from your database, okay, that you created. The password that you created for that username, okay, and that's in video lesson 1. And this is the database name that you're connecting to. Go back here. Here is the database name, right? Inside the database name, we're going to pull from this table. Okay. So what are we doing here? We're connecting to the database. Okay. This is a connection error. We don't really need to know. Okay. We're selecting everything from the Video Math Center, which is the table, not the database, but the table inside the database, where the visit number was not 11, or it was less than or 11, or greater than 11. Looks like I'm deleting stuff. Or greater than or equal to 11. But what happens if you wanted to know, between, look at our data again. We want to know between, 3 and 11. Okay, so we should see these 3 people pop up. Okay, so let's go there first. Let's add that. So here we go. Where visit number, so we're going at the visit number column, right? And we're going to go between 3 and 7. If I can find it. Okay, so let's delete this because we're not going less than or greater to. Let's put between. Between what? We just said it. 3 and 7. Okay, so let's save this. All right, now how do we know that this is going to work? Well, previously we had this right here work, right? We had the number of visits, student name, blah, blah, blah. Now that is correlated with the ID, the visit number. See, here's ID, number of visits. So you can change this to whatever you want. Visit number. Now this has to be the same as your database. Look at ID visit number. Well, guess what's coming up next? Student name and location. Check this out. Student name and location. All right. So the reason and the ID number. Okay. Have reason and ID number. Do you notice that they're spelt the same? I camel humped them, right? Camel hump, camel hump, camel hump. Okay? A camel hump, if you don't know that, what it is the first letter or the first word is lowercase, then everything after that is uppercase on the first letter. So it makes it readable. And see right here, student ID number. ID number. See, it's not ID number, it's student ID number because that's the way I want it to show right here, student ID number. Okay? So let's work through this. So we're looking through the between 7 and 3, I think I said. Between 3 and 7. Okay, that's fine. Let's get this going now. Remember it was called between PHP.
User joined your channel.
There we go. Look at between 3 and 7. Okay, that's the number of visits. I just want to know what happens if I do a 7 right here and a 3 right here. Zero results. Why? That's because you can't go down. Okay, so we got to go ascending order. Now, it's kind of how your table's written, right? Well, this is between 7 and 3. There's no number mathematically between 7 and 3. But there is numbers between 3 and 7. Does that make sense? Because this would be a negative number. This would make it negative, right? What's between 7 and 3? No. What's between 3 and 7? All right. Got to save it. Go back here. All right. Now what happens if we put or in there? So where a visit number is between 3 or 7. So that should grab things, well, we'll see if it does anything. Yes, and that's, do you see what's the difference? It just doesn't make sense. Where visit number between 3 or 7? No. Now, if we used a different, which will be coming up later, command, we can definitely do this, but you know, between is and. Okay? So just remember that. And that's the nice thing about this is programming, you can play with it. Like, well, what happens if I do this? Boom, try it out. All right. Well, hope that helped you guys out. See you on the next lesson. I think we're going to be doing I don't know. Oh yes, the like command. Okay, where you can pull things that you're looking for, like a certain name or a certain letter, and it'll query that. All right. Thank you for watching.